Welcome back, everybody, to Beards and Brews. This week's review is going to be Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, fellas, based on that old book called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. All
Applause.
right, what do we think
We
of
got it
this?
that time. We actually all went and saw this in the theater. Eric and I just saw it, and Brady had seen it, I guess, earlier. So this is a fresh Beards and Brews episode.
Just got
Not
a
as-
fresh one.
Yeah, not as fresh as the movie, because I got a feeling by the time this premieres, it probably won't be in the theater. So, this is a movie. I paid $10. It was okay.
It's a movie based on a book written by Alvin Schwartz, illustrated by Stephen Gamble. And the illustrations for the book are creepy, and they did them justice in the film. But this is like your, typical cliche horror film in the way that it's put together. Run here to A to do B to equal C, and then we get a movie. But it has a few endearing moments.
I'll give it that. The art direction is very good. The movie looks very well produced and shot, very competent. Even though I haven't even seen or read the books in probably 20 years, every monster, every little weird thing I recognize, so props to them,
I have never read the book. I don't know that I've ever even picked it up, but my wife was a big fan of the book, was super hyped to go into this, and she was pissed after watching this.
She was legitimately pissed. We had a moment where we just kind of shot the shit outside the theater, and she was genuinely upset. So there you have it, folks. 10 out of 10. Please go see it and upset your wives.
Now, I haven't seen. Sorry. Like I said, I haven't read the book. I don't really know anything about it. I know that it's like a sort of aimed at not really young adults. It's aimed at teenagers, I'd say. Is that right?
I guess so. Afterwards,
Late youth to,
Yeah, I mean, even afterwards, I was like, man, this feels like a youth novel kind of movie,
Yeah.
Yeah, Goosebumps plus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goosebumps plus. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not anything special. So it's so weird to review a movie so middle of the road. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna pick it apart. I mean, because it's fun, but meh.
No,
whatever.
I was gonna say, I did not read the book. I thought this was a fine movie. I thought it was fine. I thought it was entertaining. It kept me around for an hour and 45. That's all you can hope for, right?
I watched this with the wife also as a date night type deal. And as the credits are rolling in the start, and it was production company, CBS Films, I looked at her, tilted my head, and was smirk, kind of oh man, this is the lifetime of horror movies.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that too briefly. It's CBS, fuck.
You did, and I didn't know that was supposed to mean anything. I have no point of reference for that.
Well, I mean, CBS Films are, I don't want to say notorious, but after the whole Harry Potter craze, they start buying up book properties because that was the fad. So,
but yeah, to its credit, it's a great gateway movie. I could see people, introducing children to horror this way because there are some good moments of suspense, and the payoff is never terrifying, but it's enough to have a kid or a little young tween who hasn't been exposed to horror, or even an older adult who hasn't been exposed to horror, to kind of be oh no. But
there were some times when I got spooked. I got a little bit spooked, I tell you.
Yeah, I looked over and saw you cringe a couple times, and there was one jump scare that actually got me because they took so fucking long to get to it, and we'll get to that.
So our movie takes place in 1968 in the small town of Mill Valley, Pennsylvania.
Not to be confused with Hill Valley, California.
California!
I'm always the kind of guy that tries to figure out geographically where this is going on. I don't know. But, they told the name of the town for a little bit, but it wasn't until, a quarter of the way through. It was oh, this is Pennsylvania.
The movie doesn't really go of its way to kind of regionalize itself. And also, it doesn't really go of its way to, position itself in history. It takes place in the late 60s, but there's really nothing 60s-ish going on, except for various references to the Vietnam War happening, and
the
towards the end... Yeah, and towards the end, there's like the whole Nixon election thing kind of ramping up at the same time, briefly.
But our story
Yep.
follows three intrepid heroes, a female and two males, whose names at this moment I do not recall, except for one's name is Augie.
We
Yeah.
got Stella, Augie, and
Chuck.
Charlie. Yeah, Chuck, Charlie, whatever.
Charlie's in the trees, sir. He is not on the screen.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know. Charlie annoyed me through the whole thing, to be honest.
Oh, do you mean budget Finn Wolfhard?
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
Noise.
That's what this movie kind of reminded me of. I mean, with the success of like the new It movie and Stranger Things, there's a lot of that in this movie. But since those two things did it like way better, like those things will go on to be classics probably. This is just kind of like, hey, let's kind of like great value this.
So, do you guys remember growing up and seeing movies every season on TV, like Hocus Pocus or some shit like that?
Sure.
I see this as one of those movies. Like, it's going to be fucking October, and it's going to be fucking every Wednesday at 7.
Yeah. This is going to be one of those cult hits. I can see it now.
I don't think it'll be quite on the level of like Hocus Pocus. It'll be like Halloween Town.
There
Except
you
for
go.
maybe kids a little bit older.
All you gotta do is fart out a couple more degrading sequels, and there you go. Get the whole package on Blu-ray at Walmart for like $5.
And this will get sequels. It might not get, big theater, high budget sequels, but this will have a couple of sequels, no doubt.
Spoilers, it does kind of end with this cliffhanger, but I legitimately don't know where a sequel would go from here. Like, all of the information had been just kind of like dumped in this movie, and it's like, what are they going to do next? Just like,
it felt resolved at the end.
Yeah, they'll figure it out though, because two things: movies got a movie, and money's got a money.
So, we have a bully in this film by the name of Tommy, and this fucking kid, holy shit. Like, his face, whoever played this dude, I don't know if his face naturally rests like that, or if he was making a face, but god damn did I hate him. Like,
yeah,
it was
that's an ugly
like
kid.
King Joffrey level of hate.
well, I mean, it's probably why he's a bully. He's just like that ugly kid that got picked on, and now he has to pick on people just to feel better about himself.
He's like drunk?
Character depth.
I don't know. He's like
I guess
just
he's drunk
sweaty and
at
slurry.
some points.
Yeah, because he goes back home after Halloween shenanigans, and his mom's like, "Are you drunk again?" He's like, "Yeah, it's Halloween, bitch."
Bitch. I'm Scary Stories Rick.
So that's kind of how we start out. We've got like it's Halloween. There's high school kids doing Halloween shenanigans. You got Tommy being the big bully, trying to, I don't know, rain on everybody's parade or whatever.
Yeah, for the hell of it.
You got the kids trying to counteract that with a bag of poop.
I called the ship.
I have that in my notes.
But yeah, it's kind of cool, like in most movies like this, it starts out like these kids are just being basically oppressed and almost, murdered by these bullies. Here, like, they have like a little stick, like, hey, this year we're going to get them back. This is our like last year or whatever, before they go off and never come back from Vietnam. So that's nice.
With all this, the bullying is happening. They get chased after getting their revenge and making Tommy wreck his car. They get chased into a drive-in movie theater, which to me, as soon as I saw the drive-in movie theater, I was like, man, I want to go to a drive-in movie theater. And then I was depressed that I was, kind of watching this movie not at a drive-in movie theater.
It wouldn't be the same.
I know, I could do other things. It would have been better.
Like, I thought the movie that they were showing would have something to do with the movie that I was actually watching, like maybe like some references or whatever. And it's Night of the Living Dead, George Romero classic, whatever. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, this is just public domain. They just did pay for this fucking thing, that's all.
You're right.
CBS Films, bruh, cutting corners. It's good on them.
That's what the C stands for, by the way, kids.
Cutting corners. It's double C's. So anyways, they hide in some random dude's fucking car. It just so happens to be a drifter by the name of Ramon
Rodriguez. Or something.
Or
I
so
don't know.
he said. And rightfully so, he's like, kids, what the fuck are you doing in my car? Like, come on.
Like, okay, just for context, kids, like he's probably like what 17, 18, and the rest of the crew is like, I'm gonna guess 15, 16.
It doesn't seem like it. I feel like he's like 20 something. They're all 12.
You think?
It was just this weird juxtaposition. Like, I don't know, the kids seemed younger than they were supposed to be. Like, it was kind of weird, like how what's her name, Stella and Ramon kind of had like a little spark there. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like 11.
Yeah, it was really weird.
No, I mean they're all in high school.
I know, I get that, but they don't look. It's kind of like Selena Gomez. She just forever has that 9-year-old face. Like, I don't know.
I
That's
think
the
it's
real
just where we're
scary
getting
stuff.
older. We think they're all like 12, but in reality, they're 25.
So, he's a tough kid. He scares away the bully. And then she's like, what'd be really fun? Random person who I just met, if we all went to a haunted house.
Obviously.
They had that little bit of like camaraderie with knowing what the hell the Night of the Living Dead was. As you do.
And him scaring away the big bad bully.
It's like, oh, you know this movie? Yeah, I know this movie. Oh, you want to go to a club where people wee on each other? What? I'm gonna hurt you.
Just like hardcore techno.
So yeah, they go to the haunted house to explore the story of our, the big arc here is Sarah Bellows and her book.
Yeah, this is the house where the Bellows family used to live, and evidently Sarah hung herself after, I don't know, she killed some kids, she poisoned some kids. I don't know, that's what we get, right?
She's Freddy
It's kind of
Krueger.
the story. Yeah, it's they use this time to just kind of like throw all the exposition at you, like the story about the stories, and they just fill it up as much as possible just to kind of get it across.
Yeah, this is exactly what you're saying. It's all exposition, all plot. This is all you're going to get, ladies and gentlemen. This is all right now. Take it in, remember it, because then it's just on to the action.
It's a little laughable. They lay it on super thick, and I feel like some of those kids had like little index cards just in case. It was just like fact. Okay, now we have that set up. Here we
Oh,
go.
so you mean Sarah Bellows was not the third person in line for prime ministry, Augie? Yes, you are right. He was not she was not the third person in line for prime minister. It feels hard. Like they were just
my dick.
really struggling to just make it feel right.
Yeah.
Like my dick.
Eh.
It's all that extra foreskin, Chandler.
Oh no, windsock. Why?
He keeps pennies in it. So they end up finding Sarah Bell's book, and it's plot. I can't remember. Is she the one that reads it, or does she she asks them to tell him a story?
Yeah. It's like a couple things happen at once. So they fuck around the house a little bit. They go into the basement. Stella finds the ghost lady's book. And at the same time, Dickhead Billy or whatever his name comes in here and like
Tommy.
bullies him into the
Tommy.
Yeah, Billy. And he bullies him and stuff and gets him trapped in the basement. And they're like, "Hey, let me out." And he's like, "Obviously not, because he's a dick."
Yeah, but something important here. He's dating one of the character's sisters, Ruth, and he shoves her into the locked cellar with the other children, and she gets bit on the cheek by a spider.
Oh yeah, that was in such passing though. Like you don't see
Yeah.
it happen. It's just like off screen. She's like, I think something bit me. Like it was ADR'd in later, just so it'll kind of make sense later.
Yes.
All right, CBS.
Get it, CBS. And this is where the story actually starts to become interesting. We're no longer focusing on these children, which I never once connected to these kids. Not a fucking one of them. I didn't give a shit about these kids. I wanted to see Tommy die, and thank God. That's where we get our first story too. The what was it entitled?
It was a name.
Tommy's salami.
Harold.
Harold. Yes, it was the fucking scarecrow.
That made me snicker. There's a scarecrow on his mom's property, and it's called Harold. And every time he passes by, he's just like, "Fuck you, Harold."
Like,
What a
you
hard
can
ass.
tell the kid's a jackass by the way he treats his scarecrow.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. He even takes the extra minute just like to whack it in the face with his baseball bat. He's so cool.
He's such a fucking douche. And then he's got to go gather up eggs In the cornfield?
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, he's got like a farm, they deliver stuff to people, but he has to make a delivery through the miles and miles of fucking corn rows in front of his house? He just
When he
arrived in
was
his car.
Yeah, he has been like cruising around all fucking day in his, fancy muscle car, but now he's gonna walk through miles of cornfield with a basket of eggs.
I don't know
There's
that
no
it's
way that's a
mild.
shortcut.
I think what he's doing is taking the eggs from like one building of his property to another building so he can get ready to, like, I don't know, transport them to Mrs. Whoever.
You know that farm where like they have 5 pieces of property and they're all like 4 miles apart from each other.
Go ahead,
Doing
Shane.
all this, I was just gonna say, doing all this, he has to pass by this scarecrow Harold several times.
And each time, fuck you, Harold.
So Harold though looks really fucking cool, and if you guys read the books, he looks exactly like he did in the book, which is super.
Yeah,
neat.
they even have him on the official poster and everything. It looks really neat. Like you see through his chest and everything.
And he's got like a really cool suspense building scene. I'm not trying to give too many spoilers, but it pays off pretty well with this scene. It kind of looks really cool what happens.
All right, so next thing we have, no spoilers, but Tommy dies.
Dead as fuck.
Dead as
Yeah,
fuck.
for a second I
Yeah.
was like, no spoilers. Yeah, Timmy's dead.
Yeah, and well, I mean, if they, we're doing a no spoiler thing, then I don't give a fuck. I mean, Tommy gets chased by Harold and transformed into a scarecrow, which has a few like CGI moments that kind of like meh, but then you'll see like some practical effects that shine through and look really fucking cool.
I mean, it was pretty neat. I mean, I don't know. Like, I did this part didn't make me feel anything. So just like, I know it's gonna happen. This kid deserves it. Let's see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, I'm like, all right, that was pretty cool. All right, what's next?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like when you get like a package of trading cards and you're looking for something special. You're like, energy, trainer, whatever. Next, come on, let's get to the good stuff.
Oh shit! There's the fucking holographic Charizard.
What? I don't know about this being a holographic Charizard. It was like a Nidoking.
All right, I'll take that.
All right.
Okay.
But as this is all going on, the little girl, fucking whatever her name is, Stella, is
Stella!
actually reading this happen in the book as it writes itself in blood.
Murder she legitimately wrote.
So they find out that Tommy's missing, and she's like, "Oh no, we gotta burn this book," and it doesn't work.
Who would have saw that coming? The movie didn't end in 25 minutes.
Well, I mean, I was waiting for it.
Aw.
So later that night, after trying to burn the book, another story begins to get written called The Big Toe.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a little discussion about this one after the fact when we're standing outside, how this one was the least translatable to the big screen because it was just silly. It made me giggle.
I was, throughout the movie, this is definitely the least interesting fucking 20-minute block. It's annoying and takes forever, and the payoff is zero.
I would kind of agree with that, except like the jump scare sort of thing. I kind of like that. It was a little bit cool, but okay.
That was the one jump scare that kind of got me because we're talking about, what's his name? August? Yeah, he didn't make it to November, by the way. Yeah, it just took super long. Like, I knew it was coming. I was like, okay, hit me with it. Hit me with it. Hit me with it. You know.
And like, they're so adamant. They're talking to him through this walkie-talkie. They're so adamant. Like, hey, don't eat this thing. And he's like, what? I'm hungry. This stew just appeared in my fridge. Fuck off, guys.
Straight up just appeared. He even fucking talks to his mom, and she's like, I didn't make this shit. And he's like, well, it's in the fridge. What?
Well, somebody did, as he stuffs it in his face.
Look, if I live at home with one other person, and I didn't make food, and they didn't make food, and there's now something in my fridge, I'm gonna go, who the fuck was in my house? I'm gonna eat whatever this random thing is.
I'm more concerned how he didn't notice eating a giant toe in the first, 2 seconds of trying to put the spoon in his mouth. That was a lot of toe. Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
it sure was.
It was stupid. Even the jump scare didn't get me. I was like, here it comes. Rah! Oh, there it is. All right. Here it come. There it go. Get out the way, bitch. Move. Ugh.
Yeah, this was not Oscar worthy. This was next.
Yeah, Augie gets drug away into the darkness, and it's a nothing scene. The group doesn't save him, and
The gang doesn't save him.
yeah, they try to take the book back, but it comes back anyways, and then another story starts to write itself called The Red Spot.
So, a couple things are happening. The gang finally goes to this little, I think it's the library, to just look up some records on the family and everything, try to figure things out. And they find out that she wasn't really killed, or she didn't really hang herself. She actually passed away at the local loony bin.
What a way to go.
Goddamn, what a bummer! So anyways, the red spot starts to write itself, and they're like, oh no, it's Ruth. And then it fucking shows Ruth at her school play or whatever, and she's got this giant zit that every time it shows it, it's like, it'll cut to her talking and then cut to someone else and it'll cut back to her, and it's always getting bigger and worse.
Ruth,
Yeah.
by the way, is the sister that we referred to earlier, who had a little spider bite.
I came for
Yeah,
your
yeah.
dog.
You're waiting on that one.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah,
That's-
she's
that's
the
weird
she's the
reference.
sister of Stranger Things over there, and she's got this like play going on at her high school or whatever.
And that lump keeps getting bigger, and they're rushing to save her, and of course she tries to pop it, nothing happens, then she touches the tip and this little fucking clearly a spider leg comes out.
I don't know. I think she thinks it's a hair at first because she's like, "What? Where did this hair come from? Oh my god! I need more makeup."
Yeah, and
Honestly, this was the coolest scene in the whole movie to me.
it was definitely the cringiest. Like when it happened, I went, ugh.
Yeah, the whole time you're waiting for it, you're like, you know it's gonna pop, you know it's gonna come open, you know what's about to happen. You're just waiting for it, and then it happens. Then they go everywhere.
Yeah, they fucking go everywhere. Like, credit to them for this scene because the spiders don't look awful.
Yeah, it's all
Oh.
dark. Like they shot this, it's just all the lights out, just crazy shit was happening. And I was like, okay. Like I said
Yeah.
earlier, like this movie is shot very well.
Yeah, it
looks
was
very
smart
good.
decisions in how they shot things.
It was really kind of spooky, but at this point I did realize, like, holy shit, these people don't deserve any of this. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're just fucking kids who went to a house and now they're dying in terrible ways.
Well, hell, in her case, she just showed up with her shit boyfriend. I mean, like, she had no choice.
To be fair, he was a pretty shit boyfriend.
That's what she gets.
She made the choices.
But she is the only one so far who survives this. They get to her in time, they get the spiders away, but she's traumatized and placed into a mental institution.
Because that's just what they did in 1968.
Ma'am, you have experienced a trauma. I will contact the Rape Crisis Center. Bum, 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 bum.
I understood that reference.
So, yeah, they decide to further their study into Sarah Bellows, and knowing that she was in a mental institution, they go to said mental institution.
Yeah, which is absurdly big. Like, they show you the facade, and you're like, okay, looks like an old-fashioned loony bin, and then it kind of pans up, and it's fucking huge. Like, how many crazy people in this little janky town?
And it's got like a bus stop for it, because I guess like buses just, we gotta run them out to the mental institution.
Yeah.
They got a lot of visitors.
Back when people cared about one another, I'll visit my grandmother in the mental home. Now it's just like Granny's in the fucking meat wagon, leave her out there.
Wow.
Oh, and it's just Granny, just been there forever, and all she did was try to vote, and they thought she was crazy.
Exactly. You think you have rights? Crazy.
So the gang show up, and they're like, hey, we need information on this crazy lady that's been dead for 100 years. And the nurse is like, yeah, we don't just give random information to random people like that because, the law.
Those are medical records and, things.
Oh man, the movie made sense. What? And so the kids are like, let me just sneak through this door with all these doctors while you're not looking. Wow.
Oh, crazy kids.
Now, we get to a really cool story. I don't remember the name of this one. But while the kids are learning that, Sarah Bellows was framed and all this stuff, Chuck is trapped in this like 4-way hallway with
This was like the Red Room or something, wasn't it?
Oh, this was
that's what it's called, yeah.
this was the Pale Lady.
The Pale Lady, yes. And this monster to me was the creepiest.
This was the coolest part for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
this turned out to be a legitimate nightmare.
It was good. I was creeped out, number one, by the creature. I felt the suspense that they built for the scene. I thought this was the highlight of the film. Had the rest of it had this kind of like creepy suspense to it, this could have been great because I fucking loved this scene.
There was good build up to it, but I'll tell you, like, if the kid had just made like a decision and like ran right past any of them, I don't think this thing can move very quickly. Like,
Dude,
Clearly calm.
no
yeah,
shit,
like,
dude. The whole time that was happening, I was like, how fucking fast can she move? 'Cause I can just be like, yeet, corner,
yeah,
down the hallway. We're talking double
See-
time.
But that's what you think. But then you run down the hallway and you take the corner, and there the fuck she is. She's like the Jason Voorhees. They get the super speed when you don't see them.
yeah, but she doesn't have any weapons or anything. She just wants to fucking hug you to death.
Dude, that one to me, I thought she was gonna swallow him, and I was like
Absolutely.
waiting
I
for it. I was
thought
like, oh my god, it's gonna be so fucking creepy. Oh my god, and then
Yeah,
she
she had that big like smiley mouth.
Yeah, dude, I thought it was gonna be full of like horrid fucking it teeth or something.
Dude, I was totally thinking that he was gonna pop like a balloon. Like she was gonna squeeze him so hard, just like.
Yeah, but instead, she just absorbs him and then rubs her tummy, which to me was even fucking creepier because I was like, oh man, she just like fucking reverse birthed him.
Yeah, that made me chuckle. I was like, oh my god, death by osmosis.
Ugh.
What happened to you? I absorbed you.
I assimilated.
We are Borg.
Man, I just saw this movie. I completely forgot what happened next.
They find his pen and then they get kicked out, and then they go to the police chief because they're trespassing, and he finds out that Ramon is actually a draft dodger.
Oh.
How dare he?
And Stella's not in trouble, but she decides to stay in jail?
Yeah, I guess the police chief or whatever kind of threw her behind bars overnight, just to teach her a lesson or something. Like, if you're gonna stay here, then there you go.
Yeah,
That's how we treat
she calls
children.
her dad and was like, Dad, if I die, and I'm probably gonna die, if I die, I didn't leave you. I would never do that. I'm sorry. She doesn't
Such a
ask him to
stupid
like
scene.
come pick her up or anything.
I feel like whoever played her dad wasn't an actor, and they just called some random person who had a daughter because
Dude,
he had the most genuine reaction in this entire movie. He's like, "What? What the fuck? You didn't do anything. It's just like adults are fucking crazy sometimes. What the hell?"
He's like, baby, just come home. And she's like, I can't, Dad. She's so
That was fucking Hank from Breaking Bad.
Oh,
Hank.
rip in peace.
God damn it, Marie, they're minerals. Minerals.
But since you don't read the book, Eric, the book what?
What?
The line that you hate so much, I don't read the book.
Oh yeah, oh man, Chandler's wife was watching the movie with us, and I knew she really wanted to watch it. And that line made me laugh so hard, I had to cover my mouth so it wouldn't ruin the experience for her.
But it was too late. She done got the free shot.
Oh, in Soviet Russia.
But,
Why did you sound like you were like a drunk, orgasmic Russian? In Soviet Russia, I'm not on your face. Oh!
Who says I'm not?
oh no, blood nut.
In Soviet Russia, nut bloods you.
Ew,
Oh, ew.
that's creepier than the movie.
So, anyways, the next story is about Triangular Man, and this one to me had like some really cool effects
I mean,
with a contortionist. But the fucking start of it was ridiculous.
no, the start of it was fucking on point. So
So
the jangly man, he's in pieces, so he's got to like roll into this place bit by bit, and its head comes down the chimney of this police station and rolls in front of the little officer guy, and he has the most genuine response, more so than that girl's dad. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And just like lays into it with his fucking revolver. I was like, yes, that's exactly how you're supposed to respond to that.
This was actually the part that my wife was most pissed off about. Evidently, she really liked this story in the book, and when we got in the car, she was just like, That's not how that goes. That's not how any of that goes.
Oh, now it's just that fucking commercial for insurance or whatever.
The
I
Candy
take
Crush old lady.
Yeah, or the one that she's like, I post the pictures to my wall, and she's just literally posting pictures to the wall in her house, and the lady's like, that's not how this works. That's not how
I like
any of
how-
this works.
Yeah, I like how those insurance companies are like, haha, dementia.
So the jangling man rolls in and just fucking snaps. Was that a cricket?
What?
Motherfucker, I got a soundboard on my phone. I will fire that shit up if y'all fire no crickets.
What are you talking about? I was popping my knuckles, and you're like, that a fucking cricket?
No, it was like straight cricket sound.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm just cracking my knuckles.
I couldn't get to it fast enough, but yeah, that was a cricket.
Oh man.
So he rolls in and fucking just straight up kills the sheriff, just snaps his neck, and then the contortionist playing. Yeah, it's very quick, just dead.
Well, I mean, even in the rules of its own movie or universe, like the only people who die were the people who like read the book and the stories are being told about. This is just like some innocent bystander. So
Yeah, he's just there, and he's fucking history. So the contortionist playing this character does a fucking bang up job. The way this creature moves is eerie as fuck. It's like the creature or the actor who played the character from The Ring. Whenever she comes out of the TV, it was moving very much like that, and then it, when it was trying to get into the cell and was bending backwards and twisting, it looked fucking cool as shit.
it was
I
pretty
didn't even
gross.
think about that being an actual person, to be honest. Oh, do I need my cricket soundboard? There we go.
I even got like
money. It tickles me.
and got the classic, like whenever we tell a bad joke or a good joke.
Oh man.
Yeah,
This is how we make it, Bellows.
big time.
It sounds like we spent no money on this thing. It's great.
So, anyways, this creature's trying to get in. They get the keys. They escape, and the young girl Stella decides that she figured out how to stop this thing. She's got to take the book back, read it there with fucking what's her face, and so Sarah Bellows and Ramon volunteers to basically distract the jangly man.
Yeah,
And
this
I
ends
have
up being like the longest portion of the movie. I feel like the story that stuck around the longest.
Yeah, because it's part of the filler. Because whenever she makes it to the house, the jangly man is still chasing Ramon, and he's in the house, but they're on like alternate planes. It's like this is where the movie to me started to really fucking drag.
I just realized like the geography doesn't make any sense because he drove down that road a good ways before he kind of smacked into that truck just to get rid of the
Yeah.
jangly man, and then on foot made it all the way out of town back to the house, the haunted house, before the jangly man could catch up, which could run down a car, by the way.
Well, maybe he was trying to drive out of his way on purpose to take the jangly man away from her.
Maybe if you can dodge a draft, you can dodge a jangly man.
Damn, I fucking dig it. So she makes it to the house. She begins to see another story get written in the book, and it's her story. And she's transported back in time and takes the place, kind of reenacting the life of Sarah Bellows herself
Yeah, all her family is there, and they're all very angry with her.
for being albino.
I mean, we don't know that it's just because of that. I mean, maybe she's just a bitch.
Well, I mean, she did go out of her way to tell everybody that her family was killing the whole town.
Snitch. Fucking snitch. Like, why can't she be like the rest of the rich people in the world and be like, man, my family's dirty as shit, but we got that money. Well, she gotta be all fucking pure of heart. Fucking albinos.
Edgar
know.
Winter.
God damn it! God damn it! You steal everything!
You killed this from me.
I didn't even use it as a joke. I was just like, I didn't know what to say. She's albino. What do I think of when I hear albino? Fucking Frankenstein. Ba-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
No, I was gonna make a joke about Frankenstein literally the second that you said that.
I want all that to stay in.
Oh.
So while, she's living the life of Sarah Bellows, Ramon is still being chased by the Jangly Man, and he is being hunted down, and as he's being captured for the last moment, and, life is soon to slip away, she encounters Sarah Bellows, and Sarah Bellows wants her to write the true story, but she has to write it in her book, in blood.
And she does a pretty bang-up job. She dictates what she's writing as if someone was listening. Whatever.
And Sarah Bellows was like, yeah, I get it, I'm kind of the bad guy now, but I had to kill all you innocent children to prove my family wrong. That I murdered children. Which is fucking weird. I didn't understand that bit.
I was kind of
just
waiting.
the rage.
The rage, like the fear, it got to her.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking Dungeons and Dragons. It's like, whenever I rage, I can't make responsible decisions.
I mean, just like when I drink, I can't do that either. Oh, speaking of which, I actually forgot to get a new beer this week. So I'm here at my home after going to the movie theater. I'm just drinking some of the same old thing that I had a few weeks ago. This is Stone's Woot Stout. My review on the Woot Stout is it's still good. It's still good and dark and tasty. You should drink it.
It makes me drunk.
At this point, I totally thought she was gonna go like full whatever and say like, hey, I told your story, now you can stop being an asshole. And she was just gonna be like, no, and she would have gotten worse.
That would have been cool.
I don't know. I was expecting her to just take it to the next level, go full Super Saiyan.
But this is where the movie to me was dragging, and it falls a fucking part. So, all these missing / dead children, a draft dodger, a prepubescent teenage fucking girl or whatever.
She's not prepubescent. She's like 15, 16, somewhere in there.
Mr. fucking grass on the field play ball.
Whoa. All
right. What's the age of consent at fucking Mill Creek or Mill City, whatever this is? Mill Valley.
It's the 1960s. It doesn't matter.
No, 69 was the Summer of Love. 68 was Vietnam.
Wait, I thought 68 was the Summer of Love.
No.
It's gonna be now.
Uh-oh.
Missed his shot by a year. That's a bummer.
69 was the Summer of Love. Okay.
So, anyway.
And 67 was the Summer of Love.
Well, then they've been loving it up regardless.
Yeah, 1967. Summer of Love. It doesn't matter. It's still the 1960s. I'm a white male. They're not going to press charges.
He was Hispanic.
Yeah, but I'm white.
Are you?
Let's press on.
Like, how white? Like, Caucasian or Edgar Winter?
I was gonna say, the last white person in this film was fucking through in a basement.
I'm normal. I'm the normal kind of
Normal. What's not normal?
Oh my god, can we just keep going? I'm gonna have to just get rid of all that. I know it.
Yeah,
just
for
stop
sure.
it. Like, just wasting time.
Alright, sorry. So, the fella, Mr. Ramon, he's like, you know what? I shouldn't have fucking dodged the draft. I'm gonna go do my duty. He gets on a bus, and him and fucking Adrian part ways, and she has rescued what's-her-face from the fucking mental institution, and they drive off telling a story of how she can free Chuck and Augie, and no one cares.
Yeah, like,
That's
it's
how it
kind of
wraps up.
whatever. Like, did the kids deserve their horrible deaths? No. Do I want to see them come back? Also, no.
The movie is what it is. It's in no way the worst fucking horror movie I've ever seen in my life. I've seen way worse.
Oh yeah.
We've seen way worse on this show.
Agreed. So if I had to say anything with this film, I would say it's worth taking. If you got like a young kid and you're trying to get them interested in horror and Goosebumps is too childish, this is right up there. This is going to be your fucking movie. Kids are going to watch this. They're going to be like, it's scary without being, too scary.
Yeah, this movie definitely does remind me a little bit of like the Goosebumps movie that they released a few years ago with Jack Black, except a little bit more grown up. It's kind of somewhere between that and like American Horror Story, that kind of anthology.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah, good call on that.
that's a good one. Yeah.
It's a middle part.
I would go as far as saying this movie is inoffensive, but it's fine. Oh man, I can't take these copyright strikes, guys.
Oh,
Oh
fine.
damn, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you better be careful before we have to transform this whole podcast.
What was that?
Fucking transforming sound.
Oh,
But yeah, that's the movie.
yeah. I mean, honestly, as a standalone film, I thought it was fine, completely fine. If it comes along again for free next Halloween, maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't.
I mean, if it's on TV, I might just kind of let it roll in the background. Other than that, I'm not going to go out of my way to either see more, like a sequel. It's kind of whatever. It's kind of like a one and done kind of thing for me.
That's what you think until the fans demand more.
Oh no, more scary stories to tell about movies in the dark. Movies, stories.
And look for that in theaters or on DVD, we're not sure, in the fall of 2020.
Direct the DVD.
So that was Scary Movies to Tell in the Dark.
Scary movies. God damn it, Chandler.
Yeah, it sure was.
So that
And,
was scary stories to drink about in the theater.
Oh, I want to drink in the theater.
If anybody out there has any opinions on this movie, leave them in the comment section. Why not?
You can also follow us on our multitude of social media outlets: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell icon if you want to know when the next time we have another one of these brewing. And until next time, we'll see you next time.